The biggest and the best in cybersports are revving up and getting ready for action. Getting ready for the biggest robot tournament in the world. From the Technodrome at Shepperton Studios, we bring you Techno Games 2002.
Welcome to Techno Games, our mission to boldly go where no robots have gone before. This is day 7. That's not football. Take a look at the Techno Games assault course. There's robot pride at stake in the tug of war. We have our first swimming quarterfinals. The last of our shot putters. There's mayhem in the heavyweight sprint semi. And a race to the top in the final of the natural rope climb. And giving us their analysis today and for the rest of the games are our resident techsperts, Professor Martin Smith of the Technology Innovation Centre of the University of Central England and Professor Noel Sharkey of Sheffield University and Director of the Creative Robotics Unit at Magna. Now, in a moment, we're going live to the second of today's quarterfinals in the assault course. But first, let's see who took to the terrain and who fell by the wayside in the heats.
Just dribbled it in, and now it's the tyres. Wolf finds a way through and gets to the finish. Cat's Whiskers is about to score. He knocks that out of the way as well as the bricks, pushing the tyres out of the way. Oh, good positioning by Smash and Grab, takes it over the ramp. The goal is scored. Smash and Grab goes through the tyres, driving through. And Sprocket claims the high ground. Big Bro gets through on the inside. Beautiful goal scored though. It's with Big Bro, who makes light of the task.
Barry Davis took a look at what happened in today's first race.
First quarter-final features the Cat's Whiskers from Addleston in Surrey. In their heat, they took 72 seconds to beat Stonosqua. In contrast, Wolf beat AAT in 32.94 seconds, so the favourites are the team from Swanley.
Hi, I'm Keith, this is George, this is Julie. We're Team Cat's Whiskers, and I think we're going to do very well because we've got great traction, great manoeuvrability and big heavy motors.
Hi, I'm Gareth, I'm Team Captain. This is me mate John, and together we built Wolf. Nice and nippy, 2 wheels together like that, straight in the centre, easy to get round those concrete blocks. We ain't going to have no trouble with this assault course, we're going to win.
The statistics on Gareth's side.
Teams stand by to compete. Power up.
Cat's Whiskers nearer the camera. Far side is Wolf. And Wolf slightly quicker away. The Cat's Whiskers immediately in trouble. And Wolf is already through the first obstacle, whereas the Cat's Whiskers can't find the way home. Through the second comes Wolf. Manoeuvring well, the Cat's Whiskers finally gets past the first, as Wolf comes in to score a goal. And now turns to the tyres. Up the ramp goes the Cat's Whiskers, or tries to, but gets stuck. Oh, and the tyres falling on top of Wolf. The Cat's Whiskers stuck at the bottom of the ramp, and Wolf crosses the finishing line. The Cat's Whiskers won't finish, but Wolf sets a time of 34.65. Not as fast as its heat, but still going to be hard to beat.
So now we can go down live to Andy Collins for the second quarter-final. Now, Andy, Big Bro would have completed the course in record time if it hadn't incurred a time penalty last time. So is he going to be more careful this time?
I think he's being more careful, and I think he's sulking at the moment. I'll go over to him in a minute. But first of all, Smash and Grab. You had a little bit of damage.
Yeah, we lost a bit.
We
lost a bit, yes, we did.
It still works.
It still works.
Still we're not too worried about that part, anyway.
But the thing is, right, you're up against Big Brother.
No,
Ian's a really good driver.
He's a
It's
good driver and he's fast too.
Let's go over to Big Brother. Ian.
Oh, mate.
Now, you've got to be careful here, all right? OK, the referees are watching you very closely after what you did in the last round, all right?
I didn't say I had to go round them.
You've got to pick your way through the maze, not just barge your way through it, OK? OK?
Right.
Try and beat the records. You nearly did it last time until you picked up the time penalty. So we go from the Big Brother to the Big Mama, Philippa.
Less of the big. Thanks, Andy. Now over to Barry Davis to guide us through the action.
Big Bro from Brighton took just 22 seconds to finish the course and remove Sprocket before those 10 penalty points. In contrast, Smash and Grab from further down the coast at Lancing took nearly twice as long to remove Quadsy.
Team, stand by to compete. Power up.
They leave the line together. Big Bro trying to find a way through, both of them having problems, and Big Bro a little sluggish by previous standards, now finds the opening, and then slows down, and clearly not all is well, and up comes Smash and Grab, and gaining on Big Bro. She's strangely slow. Smash and Grab in problems at the bottom of the ramp. This is going to be a very slow heat indeed, and I think Smash and Grab may well be out of it. But this is a very strange performance by Big Bro. It's as though we're watching it in slow motion. The struggle continues as it comes to score a goal. Smash and Grab clearly out of it, can't get going again. Now the tyres, oh, and a problem there. The power doesn't seem to be with Big Bro today. Taking a very long run as a second attempt. And just about makes it, reaches the finishing line to the enormous relief of Ian Watts. Not a good performance by Big Bro, but even so, Big Bro will make it through to the semi-final. But it needs some invigorating from somewhere if it's to go further than that.
Fastest quarter-final for sure. Smash and Grab. It was there for the taking. It's obvious Big Brother had some trouble.
Yeah.
All you had to do was finish the course. What happened?
We got stuck on the ramp. In actual fact, the piece of metal that fell off was supposed to stop us doing that.
Gotcha.
So we needed it after all. Yeah. So we did, yeah.
So it's all gone wrong. And it was there because Big Brother was in serious difficulty. Let's find out what was wrong. You were so slow.
I know, I've got another dead battery. I lost a battery in one of the other tournaments a couple of days ago, and another one's failed, so I think it's time to go out and buy some new ones.
Because if you don't get the batteries fixed, you're not going to go through to the final, are you? Because everybody's going to beat that so slow.
You got any batteries, mate?
Yeah, you can book that. Actually, we can do a good deal on batteries.
Are you going to give us batteries?
Yeah. We'll sell them, come along.
Oh, yes. Make a bit of a profit.
Absolutely, got to do something.
That's my boy. That's my boy. Well done.
Big Bro's winning time, a very slow 1 minute 13.34. And in the semi-final on Thursday, it goes against the very quick Wolf.
So Wolf is proving himself to be the robot of the event, almost. And there's a few others that we can look out for, but they're really good times just coming in with 34.65. Cat's Whiskers weren't much competition because they didn't finish, but what I noticed with both robots that was interesting was they were both going into reverse to do certain things like the obstacles and the goal scoring. Right. Why would they be doing that?
It's very hard to steer a ball if you're a wedge. The ball can roll up anywhere, so if you've got a plain flat back, it's much easier to control the angle of which you hit the ball.
Big Bro, really
very lucky to get through with a time like that.
But more technical traumas in that heat.
Yes. It's good that he has the sort of design limits that even with bad batteries it still works, but even so.
Yeah. But Smash and Grab, what a shame. Very good first round, very competent performance, a little bit slow, 40 seconds, but getting caught in the seesaw.
And that's as far as they're going.
That's just the luck of the game.
Thanks, guys. Make sure you tune in tomorrow when the last batch of robots will be trying to navigate their way to the Assault Course semi-finals. But now it's time to find out which robots stood tall and which couldn't take the strain in the tug-of-war. This is how the first heats yesterday turned out.
And Big Bro immediately with the pull, and into the pit goes Mighty Mouse. British Bulldog backing away, taking Chip with it, right to the brink. But now reverse comes into it, but it's still in favour of British Bulldog. Chip right on the edge of the pit, holding, and British Bulldog adjudged the winner.
Barry watched the robots squaring up for today's tugging.
Hoping to pull the other into the pit are Ridgway from Nutley in East Sussex, Jeff Smith, John Bell and his 10-year-old daughter Sarah, and Storm Chaser from Huntingdon in Cambridgeshire, Andrew Marchant, David Gamble and Brian Moss.
Storm Chaser, these boys mean business. Not content with running 24-volt motors on 36 volts, they've even gone to the trouble of adding ballast to the machine to get it to weigh 100 kilos on the dot. But other teams are doing the same thing. Overheating in this is going to be a critical factor, particularly the motors. The hotter they get, the more inefficient they become. So with these points in mind, let's see how they bear up under the strain of competition.
Hi, we are Team Ridgeback. This is our robot, Ridgeback. We're here to compete in the tug of war. So we do well. We have nice soft rubber tyres. We have large 750 watt motors. We have a very high gear ratio. We are going to get out there and we are going to pull them.
If you're not confident in tug of war,
Team, stand by to compete.
you have no chance at all.
Power up.
Storm Chaser on the right. Ridgeback on the left. Storm Chaser doing the job initially on the brink, and then a bit of recovery, but down goes Ridgeback. Victory for Storm Chaser. Didn't take too long. Ridgeback resisting for a while, but then unable to withstand the pull. The winning time, 7.09 seconds, not to compare with Big Bro's 2.22 yesterday, but even so, Storm Chaser in the semi-final round. This now is Hellbound from Yelverton in Devon, the Wilkinson family led by Father John, and their opponent is Sprocket from East Farley in Maidstone in Kent with Captain Mick Reed.
This is Sprocket. Good, strong pulling power robot, four-wheel drive, going in for the tug of war. We're right up to the weight limit. We're pretty certain there's only one robot out there that might beat us.
Hi, I'm John. I'm the team captain. This is Vicky. This is James. This is our robot, Hellbound. We're up from the West Country to show you Londoners how it's done. We're in tug of war and we're going to give as good as we get.
Hellbound at 91 kilograms.
Team, stand by to compete.
Sprocket at 88.
Power up.
Hellbound on the left, and Sprocket with the quick early pull. Good anchor put on though by Hellbound. But slowly but surely, Sprocket pulling Hellbound into the abyss. All right on the edge and down. Finally it goes. A very, very good contest. London in the end, not a happy hunting ground for the team from Devon. They resisted strongly and looked for one brief moment as though they might turn it here, but it proved a full storm. The longest contest so far, 15.22 seconds, and the semi-final lineup has Storm Chaser against British Bulldog and Sprocket against Big Bro.
Right, that was very exciting, and I think I know why. Well, you two think you know why. You two think you've already seen the finalists, don't you?
It's very quick and easy. Definitely Storm Chaser and Sprocket.
Storm Chaser and Sprocket,
they will definitely be in the finals, yeah.
It seems to me that the ones that are four-wheel drive have got a big advantage over the two-wheel drivers. And as well, the four-wheel drive people have been rather more clever, and they've used a much higher gearing. They both used around 20 to 1, whereas the other two guys have used about 10 to 1. So they're going to get a lot, there's a big difference in that respect.
There's a big weight difference in that race, so 26 kilos for Storm Chaser over Ridgeback and 36 kilos for Sprocket over Hellbound.
Right.
So a big weight difference makes a vast difference in this game.
These ones particularly are Robot Wars contenders, aren't they?
Yes.
They're big, heavy robots that are built for fighting. And does that help them or hinder them?
That hinders them in this case, because really you just want a very slow-speed machine with a lot of turning force. You don't need particular robustness or lots of weapons on heavy metal or anything like that, well, as long as it's in the weight limit.
If you were designing a robot for this event, what would you design?
Very high gear ratio, so move very slowly, and either treaded wheels or maybe spiked snowshoes on them, that kind of thing.
And what would it be called?
The winner.
The winner. We like it. Thanks, guys. And tune in tomorrow to see all the action live from the Tug of War semi-finals. Of course, later in tonight's show, we'll be going live to the final of the natural rope climb. But right now, we've got round 2 of the swimming about to start in the Technodrome pool. Let's take a look at the bionic boatmen who made it this far.
Molly Nessie Green with a finishing time of 41.3. And K9000 does get away. Doggy Paddle Deluxe comes in 16.34, a new world time. Hypocrite is coming in alone.
It's time now to go live to the pool where Andy's with the swimmers. So, Andy, what's the atmosphere like down there?
Well, Philippa, the atmosphere has actually changed because when we first started, it was all smiles and happiness. Now, they're not smiling, they're blinkered, they're locked in because they know this is the serious stuff. They know that there can only be one winner, and that one person will, of course, go through to our grand final and a chance to play for that gold medal.
So, are you allowed to tell us who your money's on then without getting punched?
I will, because I'm going to run away once I tell you. My money is going to be on doggy paddle.
OK, run away!
This is Hypocrite in lane 1 from the Westgate Community College in Newcastle upon Tyne. Won its heat in 28.25. Molly Nessie Green from the Hazel Grove High School also won its heat, a time of 41.3. K9000 the second was only a runner-up in its heat, comes from Downshire School in County Antrim in Northern Ireland. Doggy Paddle Deluxe set a new world record in 16.34 seconds in winning its heat, comes from Eastbourne. It's a family team.
I'm here with K9000. Now it's a simple crank and paddle mechanism machine. Now these boys competed last year, but they're back this year with a more powerful motor in the drill. We've got a higher gear ratio here, a little bit more streamlining on the hull. And I think these guys are hopeful of an early victory in the heats.
Hello, my name's Kalim Halim. We are the team from Hazel Grove High School. These are my team members, Rebecca and Kim Dean, and this is our swimming robot, Molly Nessie Green. It is the brainchild of Rebecca here, who wanted to create a monster which had animal-like movement, so we decided to go for the Loch Ness Monster. The face comes from Ali G, but it's too ugly to be Ali G, so it ends up being Halim G, which is me.
We are the Doggy Paddle Deluxe team. This is my dad, Stephen, and my brother, Joshua. And this is our robot, the Doggy Paddle Deluxe.
This robot is based around a radio-controlled car chassis, much shortened, to operate a couple of paddles through some cranks, and it seems to operate reasonably well. We're quite happy with it.
Doggy Paddle Deluxe, the favourite, all poised to go. Interesting if it does win to compare its time with Marlin of yesterday. And it's Doggy Paddle Deluxe that takes the early lead, pressurised though by K9000 the second, who's battling well, but Doggy Paddle Deluxe from the outside lane has clear water. No question as to the qualifier for the final. Doggy Paddle Deluxe 15.56, the winning time. K9000 the second, in second place, Hypocrite in third. The rather sad figure at the back of the pool is Molly Nessie Green. K9000 the second, in fact, hit the wall, but Doggy Paddle Deluxe was up and gone and setting a new personal best time.
You see, the thing is, I can pick a winner. You see, I can pick a team. Well done, indeed.
Fantastic.
Happy with that, Steve?
Thrilled, absolutely thrilled.
Did it go according as planned?
Exactly, yeah. That's perfect. Just good bit of steering, good bit of throttle control. What more can you ask for, eh?
Listen, you're through to the final now, OK? We're up, place for the gold medal. Confident.
Yeah. Well, we've seen one that's a little bit worrying us, but we're going to give it our best shot.
Well, listen, team, best of luck. Best of luck. Well done.
Thank you.
That one will be Marlin, who was over 4 seconds faster than Doggy Paddle Deluxe's winning time there of 15.56. A lot to make up, but a lot happens in the pool.
Some wonderful water babes there.
Yes.
In fact, 4 lovely creatures, but only one winner we could have, and it was Doggy Paddle Deluxe.
Yes.
And were you surprised?
Not really.
No, neither was I.
Doggy Paddle Deluxe uses radio-controlled racing car motors, which are very efficient and very light, so that's a very good choice of power source.
Well, obviously, and the other reason it won was because it was the best looking and cute.
I disagree entirely. I think that K9000 was better looking.
Who cares about the technology? This is what it boils down to. What do they look like? What's their paintwork like?
K9000 was extremely impressive there because, as I said earlier, it was 21 seconds last year, and then this year it was 49.3 seconds, even though they'd streamlined it.
Yeah.
But in that race it was actually 19.69 seconds.
Do you think Doggy Paddle Deluxe, can make it through all the way and get that gold medal?
I don't think it could get the gold medal against Marlin. Because, well, we've seen Marlin's at 11 seconds. I don't think they could, unless they put another sort of 1,000 volts into the battery or something.
Thank you. We'll have all the aquatic action from the second heat of round 2 later in the programme. But coming up next, the final of the shot put, an event so explosive the tech teams had to compete outside the arena. Let's have a look at the first shot bots in action yesterday.
It's Lob-a-Lot. First attempt looks just a bit short of 15. Good height here and good distance, and they might well have a new world record. It's annihilated the world record, over 25 metres. Just on the 30-metre line. Total Recoil leads at the end of the first round with a distance of 30 metres, but Super Slinger had to abort, will now get a chance in round 2.
Hello, my name's Gary Roberts.
I'm Nick.
I'm Rick Jarvis, and we're from Blessed Edward Old Corn High School in Worcester. It's a robot, it's a Lob-a-Lot. It's a bit improvised, this robot, because the cake tin was my mum's, and it was borrowed as such. The car springs as well are from Mr. Jarvis' car, so we're quite lucky to get hold of them, and we hope to fire it quite far this year.
Coming from 4th place, 14.6 last time. It's better than that. It's over the 15, and indeed I think over 16 metres. Better balance between height and distance this round.
16.4.
16.4 metres. Armstrong 2, 15.6 yesterday. They've now been displaced in 3rd place.
OK, Brian, you've really cranked it now, but there's been a little bit of a technical hitch. What's gone wrong, mate?
Well, it's a used spring, and so we didn't know what quality it was, and I overcranked it, and I've split some of the fibres off. There's a little bit of energy left, but not a lot.
So is this going to affect performance big time?
I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Well, they need to improve on that 15.6. They'd take a medal.
1, fire.
And the shot doesn't clear the circle. They had a similar problem last year, this time up off the roof and straight down, but no injury sustained.
What went wrong there?
Well, we had the launch power, but we didn't have the horizontal power. The front, as you saw, broke and prevented it going forward.
Now the leaders after round 1, Total Recoil from Leicestershire. And it's another good put. Not quite as good as yesterday, short of the 30-metre mark. Very consistent. Nice, easy action. Good trajectory. And fired from 45 degrees, a distance of 29.2 metres.
Brilliant, great.
Excellent.
I mean, yeah.
First time I've entered, and we've beat the record, so can't ask further than that.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Excellent.
This is what happened to last year's champions yesterday. Just had to abort. Too much tension.
We've made a slight adjustment to the safety pin mechanism, so now it's running quite freely. We've just tried it with the maximum, well, towards the maximum number of springs, and it started tightening up again. So we're leaving it as it is. We're going to have a go now.
Let's hope they have better luck this time. Great height, and they're on the board with a distance short of the 25-metre line. Just the one throw counting for Super Slinger. Springs flying away, the shot going higher than Total Recoils did, and the distance is 23.9. A little less height, they might have got greater distance.
Well, I'm quite happy with that because we didn't use all the springs. If we'd used all the springs, I'm sure we would have won.
As it is, it's bronze this time for last year's winners, Super Slinger. Blisteringly better by far, no throw in round 2, but they take the silver. Total Recoil, the gold.
The gold and silver both held there from the first throws, but what we saw in the second round was a new bronze, which we probably didn't expect, did we?
Well, they managed to fix their pin problem, so
Yeah.
they got the safety pin out this time.
And then we could see what it could really do. Which was impressive.
23.9 metres, that was with the 6 springs, so with the 28 springs it could have done really well if they can fix the safety pin problem.
And Salobalot was interesting as well, because we talked about angles after the first throws.
That's right.
And it comes up again here in the second throws.
Well, it was at 60 degrees angle, so if they'd been at 45 degrees, they could have done better.
If they'd gone to 45, they'd be 15% better, but they'd need to be 45% better to have got a medal. It's interesting to note that they're all springs this time, and springs are much more efficient at releasing their stored energy than elastic bands stretched over pins.
Anything else that particularly caught your eye in that last?
Well, total recoil. It was consistent, wasn't it?
It was consistent,
30 metres
yeah.
exactly. But they said that they got 26 metres in the test, so they were doing 4 metres better than the test.
Okay, so they got 29.2 in
But
this
again,
round, 30
it was like they had to use a big winch handle to compress the spring, which was a car suspension spring. So again, if we used more car suspension springs like that, compress them, it could go an awful lot further, really.
So someone who wants to have a robot lob a ball right across the park, what do they need to be doing?
Make sure they're 45 degrees, make sure they're using springs, and not the leaf springs in cars, because they're designed to have a little bit of damping and absorption. The compression or extension strings are better.
Thank you. Now, it's time to fish out some more finalists in the swimming. Let's take a look at how the competitors made it to the second heat of round 2.
Roboduck going with great deal of quack. Tad 1 wins. Hydrojuice coming calmly home to take the second qualifying place. A game performance from Leggy Peggy, but Tango the winner, 21.07.
Now it's over to Barry with the lowdown on the teams and machines.
Lane 1, Leggy Peggy from Paynton in Devon, runner-up in her heat and a time of 27.03. Hydrojuice was also a runner-up, but in a faster time of 24.09. Comes from the Leesden Church of England Junior School in Gosport, Hampshire. Roboduck in the middle lane is the fastest in the field, winning its heat in 19.40. Comes from Essex. Tango was just a little slower, 21.07, the entry of Harrow School in Middlesex. And in the outside lane, Tad 1 from the Harwich School in Essex, also a heat winner, but in 47.19.
Hey, I'm with Tango. Look at the size of this beast. This is huge. Now, these boys are using a 12-volt and a 24-volt system. They've got a crank-driven flipper assembly. Look at this, full-size divers flippers. Big, powerful servo on the rudder here. And check this out. They're using the same motor that we do in Razor. Maybe with this, they're destined for a little success.
Hi, I'm Matthew Kirk, this is Ryan Webb and this is Kristen Quinn, and we're Team Hydrojuice from Leesland Junior School. This is our robot, and it runs on 4 NiCad batteries, which runs the motor, which goes to the flippers. Our original design only had 1 motor, but this one's got 2 for added power. We're quite optimistic about how we're going to do in the race.
My name's Paul, this is Stuart, this is William. We've spent 6 months designing this tadpole. It's based on the swimming action of a tadpole or a fish. We tested it in the local boating pool and it's proved to be very successful and very popular with the local swans.
Hi, my name's Bob Davis. We're Team Davis, and this is our entry, Roboduck. Roboduck is a flipper-powered swimmer, bicycle crank to operate the flippers, twin motors for added power, and on the front we have our mascot here with his demonic red eyes.
Teams stand by to compete.
5 contenders.
Power up.
Only the winner goes through to the final. And it's Tango and Roboduck. Roboduck showing just ahead, but steering a little bit wide. It's a battle between these two. Hydrojuice and Leggy Peggy battling out for 3rd place, but this is the battle for a place in the final, and it's going to be Roboduck. Oh, by just about a duck. 18.53 the winning time. Hydrojuice 3rd. Leggy Peggy 4th. And Tad 1 at the back of the field. But what a good contest down the entire length of the pool. Roboduck made it a little bit difficult by steering wide, but got home just in front. Tad 1 finally makes it, so all the robots finish the course.
If you were a gambling person, you would put your money on Tango. Why? Well, because they're the experienced team. They've been here before. You wouldn't put your money on the new boys, the new team. But they've come here and they've beaten everybody and you're through to the final. Bob, your feelings?
Excellent.
It was such a close race. Was there at any time, a moment of doubt that we're going to lose this?
Well, at the very last moment there, we couldn't quite decide whether it's us or Tango, and it wasn't until the judges finally gave their decision that we knew we'd actually got through.
Well, congratulations, you're through to the final. We're all looking at you now thinking, you could do this, you could be gold medalists. Well done, team. We'll see you in the final.
Need to quicken up a little bit in the final, I suspect, but 18.53, good enough to give RoboDuck a place among the last 4.
It was very, very close. And in fact, I thought Tango had it for a while. What did you two think?
I rather like the machine that's made out of bits of ducting and odd stuff lying around the house. I think that's marvellous.
And did you notice that the duck was actually trembling on the top as the race was going on? That one's really making me laugh.
But RoboDuck is really a very clear example of simplicity. There's one motor there working to two flippers, and that's why it's doing so well.
And they left a bit of flexibility in the design for tuning up, so they increased the voltage from 12 to 18.
And that improved, that's what improved the time.
So that's clever as well.
So it took it up by nearly a second.
But then Tango, by no means a failure. I mean, you know, it came in second, but it was extremely close.
Well, they improved their time by 10 seconds. I don't know how they did that. We don't know.
Well, that's a big increase.
Peggy Leggy a bit disappointing for us all, though.
Yes, well.
I think she was tired.
She was just tired
about
her. Yes. Well, now she's out.
Yes, that's true. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There'll be more swimming semi-finals coming up on Thursday, and if any of today's robots have inspired you, you can check out all the tech specs of top featured competitors at the Robot World website. But right now, the robots are evolving out of the water and onto dry land as we take a look at the second semi in the heavyweight sprint competition. But first, let's check out how the big guys made it this far.
But Ulysses puffing away at the smoke. Black Widow getting nowhere fast, and a nice bit of straightening up as it comes to the finishing line. Ulysses wins. Coral Rabbit's being shaken around a little bit. Clodhopper might qualify for the next round. Finishes in 1:28 for toe cap over the line.
It's that time again, folks, to put on your hard hats and run to the bunkers, because we've got two of the loudest, craziest and scariest robots on the track. Clodhopper, you're about 30 seconds slower than Ulysses. How are you going to make that time up?
I've no idea.
No idea. You've got no big words for me now, mate, have you? So you had a bit of direction problems last time. Are you able to correct that?
No.
You saw that bit? No. No, once again, no. It's a big nose here at all, lads. Let's go over here to the Ulysses team. Now, guys, the workings inside your robot, you know, like your grommets and your noggins and stuff like that, must take one hell of a battering.
Sure, look, that look what happened the last time. It took half the arena out there, like.
It did take half the arena, and I noticed that you sort of like veered off to the left. So we've put you as far right as we can now, okay? Give you a bit more track to play with.
The eyes fell off, so I couldn't see where it was going.
Right, right.
I told you, we don't control it.
Okay. Have you managed to do the running repairs? You've got that all fixed up now?
We hope so, yeah.
Okay, guys, remember, one of you is going to go through to the final. Best of luck.
Ulysses are the defending champions. They come from Dublin, and their winning time in their heat was 42.47 seconds. Clodhopper took rather longer, 1 minute and 28 seconds for the team from Bideford in Devon. Well, for Clodhopper, it's a question of putting the best foot forward.
Please stand by to compete.
Ulysses with rather more feet. Will the eyes have it? Not too much in it at the beginning, but Ulysses loses one eye again and is cutting across into Clodhopper's lane. Is there a danger of a disqualification? I doubt it. The eye is still blinking. There's a mark on the toe of Clodhopper. Ulysses has the advantage, but continues to go off to the left. Will he attempt to climb the wall, as in the heat? Demolishes the 15-metre mark, but now using the wall very effectively. Down goes the 20-metre mark, the finishing line in sight. Clodhopper with another 8 meters to go as Ulysses crosses the line and goes through to the final. An obvious Irish delight. Clodhopper deserves to make the finish, but it's turned itself around. Ulysses has its own style. Don't get in its way is the message, but it makes it to the finish, one-eyed or not. And so eventually, after turning itself round, toes over the line for Clodhopper 2.
They just don't build these robots to last. Right, whose is this? That's yours, obviously. Yeah, and I presume this is yours, Clodhopper?
Thank you.
Good start. Even Stevens, it was head-to-head.
Well, we put our best foot forward, but it wasn't quite fast enough.
Would you please stop with all the boot and foot remarks, please, sir? They're wearing a bit thin now. It was really good, though, up to the 5 metre mark, and then they just turned it up a bit and they just pulled away from you.
Yeah, I think so. Well, they do have a petrol engine in their machine.
Yeah, which gives them the advantage. So let's go over here. Ulysses, once again, losing bits of your robots, but you've done it. You're through to the final. You're up against Scuttle, right? What are you going to do to your robot to make him that wee bit faster? Can you find it? Can you do it?
We're going to kick the living daylights out if we catch it.
If you catch it. If you catch it, Scuttle's not going to go down.
45.94, Ulysses winning time. Clodhopper will now take on Black Widow for the bronze. It's Scuttleby squared against Ulysses for the gold.
We're about to do the tech specs on a giant boot and a furry red thing with lots of legs.
This one does.
I don't know how we conduct a serious interview about this. It's just fabulous.
Yes, it was really good.
It's a real treat. I love it. So why did Ulysses win then, chaps?
Really, Latin scholars at home should notice that Ulysses in that race turned into its enemy Cyclops during the race.
Indeed, indeed, the one-eyed monster.
One important thing.
But the other thing is that they suddenly sped up just when they needed to. Now, how did they manage to do that?
Well, they don't do anything that just runs along. And the problem is their stride is by far the longest in there. And the problem with that is that sometimes when it's moving so fast up and down like that with that great big weight, you notice that every so often it suddenly seems to slow down and stop.
Yeah, almost like it's just having a break.
And that's because it's bouncing up and down so fast that it can't move forward.
To bore you with the technical reason, even though they're about identical weight, Ulysses has about 4 times the power of Clodhopper.
Yes.
That's, or possibly the alternative technical reason is that Clodhopper got stuck in its own bootlaces.
Yes, I did notice the shoelaces were undone. And at that point, they turned around and went into reverse, which I thought was very wise.
Yes, it was very wise.
But it still didn't win them the race. Thanks, guys. Now, to round off the show, we're about to go live to the floor of the Technodrome where the top 2 robot rope climbers are preparing to hit the heights. But first, let's see how Ascender 2 and RC1 got to today's final and in doing so beat old favourite Skeletron into bronze medal position.
Ascender 2 making it to the top. Skeletron going at her own pace. And away goes RC1, jerky style, but eating up the rope. Rather more sedate from the opposition.
OK, well, now we can go over to the new generation of finalists. Andy's with the robots. So, Andy, are they full of trepidation?
Well, it's funny you should say that, old girl. Because it really should be a one-horse race. But my spies tell me that the Ascender crew have been making some fine modifications to your machine. What have you been up to, Murray?
We've doubled the voltage. It's now running at 20 volts, which we've never tested, and it might well kill itself.
It's a do or die.
Do or die.
It certainly is.
Do or die. Let's go over here to the RC1 team. David, they've made some modifications. They say they've really tweaked the battery to the maximum. It's either going to shoot up there or it's going to go nowhere. Are you worried?
Yeah, it could be, it's fast anyway. We're faster at the moment, but, it's the one that gets to the top that wins.
You should be a politician. You're so diplomatic, you put it so well, and yet James is going, James, you're going to win this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah! OK, James, it's all down to you, mate. Remember, whoever wins this will be getting a gold medal. Best of luck to both teams. I'm out of here.
Now, Barry Davies is going to take us through the action.
It's been a startling debut by RC1 in the Techno Games, a new world record under David Sr. and his son James. Ascender 2, the entry of Berwick High School. Mr. Hubbard and Murray McPherson and Aidan Wiggum, 2 pupils. Will the gamble of increased power pay off? Or is it to be a new world record? Time to beat 8.94. Away they go. Very quick start by RC1. Good battling though by Ascender 2. But RC1 is going to win it against the clock. And it is a new world record. 8.53. Ascender 2 has come to a halt. But just look at the simplicity of this style for RC1. Ascender 2 did its best. But there was no beating this little robot. And eventually, Ascender 2 ran out of power.
This event has brought us everything. We've seen legend robots get beaten and world records smashed like it's going out of fashion. Time now for the medal ceremony. Over here we go to the bronze medals to give them to the old girl. And I know Philippa will be very pleased indeed because she's a great fan as well. Skeletron, there are the bronze medals for you, team. Well done. As for the silver, that goes to the Ascender team. Souped it up. At the end of the day, it just broke down, but you've got some silver medals. I hope that makes up for it. Well done, guys. But the gold medals go to a team who have come here and absolutely smashed the world record. They are the gold medalists. Please make some noise and give it up for RC1. There you are, guys. Well done. Well done, teams.
So gold for little RC1, silver for Ascender 2, and after taking the gold medal for the last 2 years, Skeletron now has to settle for bronze.
So, Martin, give me 3 good reasons why RC1 won.
Well, first of all, it was the lightest of the 3 robots. Secondly, it was using a motor which was a radio-controlled car racing motor, so it's built for speed. And the third reason is it was using rotary motion, whereas something like Skeletron is using oscillating motion. And when you're using oscillating motion, you've got to accelerate, stop, accelerate backwards and forwards, and that uses a lot of power and takes time.
The key to their machine was the clamping and releasing mechanism. Now that's very important for all the machines, and both Ascender 1 and Ascender 2, because you've got to hold on to the rope, release it, hold on to it, release it.
And so what was special
so many
about
many of them, what they use is they use some sort of hydraulic or pneumatic ram that clamps onto the rope, but they use something that was very, very simple. Ascender used simply a little thing that turned, so it, when it stopped on the rope, it was digging into the rope. When it moved, it wasn't.
Right.
So just very, very simple. And RC1's was even cleverer. They used this very simple ratcheting mechanism. So it's a little ratchet that comes around very, very extremely fast. I mean, that was the point. So it holds onto the rope, but as soon as they move, it releases immediately. So there's no hold-up whatsoever, really.
A bit like a car handbrake mechanism.
Yes, it was like that, yeah.
Thanks, guys. Don't forget, you can vote for the robot who you fancy as a star of the future in the People's Vote at the Robot World website. Just don't be surprised if your robot hero doesn't answer any fan mail. Here are the machines you can choose from in today's competition. Mighty Mouse, our first robot from the USA and possibly the most sophisticated robot in the games. Jack Flash, a beautiful design and surely a contender for the Special Award. Tomorrow, we'll be getting off to a flying start with the rocket car event, seeing semi-final action in the light sprint and tug of war, and watching the beautiful game in all its glory in the final of the football. But today, we've seen the rope climb champion RC1 set a new world record in the natural rope climb for the 3rd time in the games. Plus, Skeletron completed her own unique treble. She's now collected Techno Gold, Silver, and Bronze. What a lady. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
If you'd like details of how to take part in Techno Games 2003, call 08700 100 678 for an application pack. Or if you have a text phone, dial 08000 15 33 50.